Hello and welcome to another exciting battle of Battle of the Beasts. We are nearing the end of round 4 now with battle number 72. Carnivora, the winged scavenger, versus Noctila, the death owl. Now, oh no. Basically, whichever beast wins this, it will bring the end to Series 10 or just kills off one of the 3 remaining Series 7 beasts. So we know which one it will affect less if it dies, but I like both of these. I actually like all of the remaining beasts that were the start of round 4. My least favourite of the remaining few is actually Elic. In round 1, Carnivora killed Brutus. In round 2, it was Vespic. And round 3, it was... Yep, round 3. Round 3, this is the first time this round I had to actually check who someone's victim was. In round 3... in round 3, Carnivora's victim was Hawkeye. That was actually my favourite battle of round 3 and I forgot who the victim was. Noctila's round 1 victim was Torno. Round 2 it was... I don't want to check, okay? I want to remember. Don't look. Round 2 was Big Rash and round 3 was... What was round 3? Crab, there we are. Yes, without having to check that one. Boom. Yep, was Crab. The larger of these two beasts is Carnivora. Carnivora getting the 8th place spot for the largest of the remaining 10 beasts. And Noctila was 9th. So, not a big accomplishment, but I think, yeah, Carnivora is over 200 points, which me and Lucas confirmed are in inches larger than Noctila. So that's not that bad at all, actually. For the arena, I'm thinking of I like to say a rocky terrain. As one was fought in an icy area, one was fought in a forest. So I think a rocky terrain is fine. So let's get into this battle. As both beasts exit their chambers, they both leave through the sky door. They see each other straight away. Noctila dives or makes a beeline straight towards Carnivora. Carnivora waits for Noctila to get closer and moves out of the way, using his claws to scratch at the side of Noctila, being careful of the tar wings as she saw that it does a lot of damage. Noctila turns around, losing balance a bit, and sees Carnivora just taunting her with a little grin that Carnivora is doing. Noctila makes a beeline for Carnivora again with her talons out, ready to catch Carnivora. And Carnivora waits until the last second and soars upwards for Noctila to go underneath. Carnivora using her claws again to scratch at the top of Noctila's head and back. And as Noctila's turning around, Carnivora comes down to the ground. Noctila looks up, can't find her, and is then greeted by a sudden wave of heat coming towards her from underneath that's singeing her under feathers. And she looks down to see Carnivora just breathing at her. Noctila waves her wings around, dropping tar towards Carnivora. Carnivora swiftly dodges most of them but does get singed by a couple of them, but none of them fatal. Noctila dives down towards Carnivora to swoop to cut at Carnivora, and it works because Carnivora was too slow to dodge that one, and her talons scrape at Carnivora's back and hitting her wings but not really cutting her ability to fly. Noctila goes round for round 2. Carnivora waits, and as soon as Noctila comes down, she ducks down and then dodging Noctila's attack, swiftly turns around and blasts the heat waves directly towards Noctila, burning her tail feathers, causing her to come down to the ground. Very slowly, just barely hovering above the ground. Carnivora uses her wings to go above Noctila and dive down towards Noctila with the heat wave thing coming towards her. Noctila is just trying to fling hot tar towards Carnivora, but as she learnt that's not working by hitting the ground around her and one hitting herself, she stops and just comes down to the ground, waits for Carnivora to come and just moves out of the way. The Carnivora saw that and stuck a claw out to slash an uppercut basically in Noctila's face, knocking her backwards into the wall of the arena. Carnivora lands, but has Noctila running towards her, throwing tar with her wings at Carnivora, singeing her, burning her, and using her talons to scratch at her face and front paws. Noctila used her wing to just knock Noctila to the ground. She jumps on Noctila and using her claws slashes off and breaks Noctila's wings. And then with her back claws pinning Noctila's talons to the ground, she roars in Noctila's face and then bites down on Noctila, trying to finish it immediately, with her teeth going into Noctila's head and chin. Noctila's still barely alive and is able to slip her talon out of one of Noctila's grips and slashes at Carnivora's underside, causing her to let go completely and Noctila to run away, or waddle away, whichever one. Carnivora regains herself, and with the damage she is a bit slower but still fast enough to catch up, to where she jumps on top of Noctila, pinning her down to the ground again, digging her claws into her this time, and her talons is underneath her body, underneath Noctila's body, so Noctila can't use that. She lets out a heat wave to where her back, where her feathers start singeing off, and Carnivora, using her teeth, starts chomping down onto the back of Noctila, ripping the flesh out, not even eating it, and just keeps going until Noctila just starts bleeding everywhere. Carnivora then uses her claw, one of the claws that was inside and that was dug into Noctila, brings it out and stabs it right through Noctila. Then using that claw, Carnivora flies up, bringing Noctila with her, and then tosses Noctila into the ground. As she doesn't have any wings, she just started plummeting into the ground. And there is a reason for that, why Carnivora just put her, just to lift her up actually. And Carnivora using her wings just double slams Noctila to the ground, causing a dent in the arena, or crack on the floor. Noctila's barely moving, and what Carnivora does now, just lands right next to Noctila, behind her, and waits for her to get up. She does, eventually, just for Carnivora to lift up her claw or paw that went into Noctila to lift her up, and punches or stabs straight through. Noctila just stares out blankly for a moment, then looks down to see Carnivora's claw there, realising she's just been stabbed right through her. She slumps her head over and her entire body goes lifeless. Carnivora then pulls her claw out and uses it to just hit Noctila over the head, knocking her to the ground. Carnivora has won this battle, Noctila has lost. And I think the reason why I gave Carnivora the win is that she was able to fly. She has more sharp claws than Noctila has sharp talons. And with the heat wave thing and being able to fly without trying to fling tar at you, it's basically wherever you're looking it will hit. Instead of just flinging tar, you just need to hope it hits. So Noctila had to rely on her luck just to hit her opponent with the tar. Carnivora, where you're looking, you hit, basically. Yeah, and anything else? The immense size advantage Carnivora had made it easy for her to pin Noctila to the ground and just toy with her for a moment. And yeah, that is it, actually. If you think Noctila should have won, please in the comments below why you think that. And Series 10 has come to an end. So is Series 11 last round, but I forgot to say that. Anyway, that's it. That's all for this time. Join me in the final battle of round 4, where we have Furno the Fire Dragon versus Edic the Lightning Horror. That being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press that little notification bell down the corner below, and I'll see you next time.